Hello, good to see you. Well, here we go again. There's something very appealing about being told exactly who you are, especially if you've spent years not being sure. So far in this series, we've discovered that the doorway into adulthood has disappeared and that people stayed in the hallway decorating it. And when they got bored, they started looking elsewhere for initiation. Today, we're talking about one of the fastest growing replacements. It's efficient, it's portable, and it's very convincing. It's ideology. Ideology is what happens when belonging becomes more urgent than thinking. And someone offers you both in a single, well packaged answer. A new and improved ideology. Now, let's be fair. Ideologies exist because they do something very useful. They simplify the world into right versus wrong, us versus them, and meaningful versus meaningless, which is comforting because complexity is exhausting. Thinking is hard. Nuance takes time. Ambiguity makes people itch. But ideology? Ideology hands you a ready-made identity, a clear set of beliefs, and a socially approved personality all before dinner. Let me put it this way. A proper initiation says, you've become something through effort. An ideological shortcut says, you've been something all along, you just needed to be told. One requires transformation. The other simply requires agreement. Now, remember, this doesn't appear in a vacuum. It appears exactly where we left space. No threshold, no recognition, no clear role. So when someone comes along and says, you belong here and it matters, that lands. I recently spoke to someone who said, this is the first place I feel understood. And I believed them entirely. But what they meant wasn't they understand me. It was they give me a framework where I finally make sense. And here's the part worth noticing. That framework came preloaded. It didn't require testing. It didn't require contradiction. Didn't even require much thinking, just alignment. Historically, identity was something you grew into. Now, eh, it's something you can subscribe to, monthly updates included. And sometimes you can pay for it with Venmo. You get language, posture, approved opinions, and curated outrage, all delivered with remarkable efficiency. Now, before anybody gets defensive, and they will, a quick reminder. Subscribe, hit the button down there because we're not done yet. Share this with someone who recently figured everything out in just under a week. Leave a comment below. I'll read it with a calm expression and probably a glass of bourbon. Or email us at info@patsanswers.com. That's info patsanswers.com. And yes, there is a companion booklet that's available through email. It's $3.99. It's a slightly less emotionally charged version of what we're doing here, and you can pay with it with PayPal. Now, let's get back to the machinery we were talking about. Ideology works because it gives you three things instantly. You are now defined, you are named, and you are recognized. No waiting period. After years of ambiguity, clarity feels like oxygen. Even if it's overly simplified oxygen. You're now part of a group, surrounded by agreement and socially reinforced, which feels safe. Nothing stabilizes uncertainty like being surrounded by people who agree with you immediately. It saves time. You're now engaged, directed, and significant, probably overnight. But did you notice what's missing? Time, effort, and contradiction. I've seen people go from, I'm not sure who I am, to, I understand everything that's wrong with the world. They did it all in about 10 days, which is impressive, but very suspicious. Now, here's the point they don't advertise. When you accept a ready-made identity, you also inherit its limitations, its blind spots, and probably most damaging, its conclusions. You don't gain clarity. You adopt constraints because once belonging replaces thinking, thinking becomes risky. And nothing threatens group cohesion like someone asking a slightly inconvenient question. So, over time, curiosity narrows, language simplifies, and nuance disappears. Not because people are unintelligent or downright stupid. It's because the system rewards certainty. After all, if you finally found a place where everything makes sense, why ruin it with accuracy? So now we have a population that never crossed a real threshold, but it has been handed something that feels like one. The difference is a real threshold changes you. An ideological shortcut organizes you. And organization is not the same as transformation, but it feels close enough, especially if you've never experienced the real thing. Any system that offers identity, belonging, and certainty without required growth will eventually ask for something in return. Next time, we're going to talk about who ends up paying the bill for all this. Because none of this disappears, it accumulates quietly. Until then, be careful what makes you feel certain. Certainty is very comfortable. It's also remarkably easy to manufacture and very difficult to outgrow.